If you want to burn a book, baby, there's no better way to do it than by shutting down a library. You take all the things that nobody cares about because they're not getting checked out anyway. Nobody cares about them. You take a bunch of adults and say, this is too much, and they shut down a library for it. You say they're doing it in Michigan?
Yeah, it's up for so stupid. These people, I just don't understand. Yeah, it's
fresh water.
It's up
not for you.
I'm not sure which town it's in. They didn't disclose that, so I gotta do my research and find out about that. But they are considering defunding the entire library.
I have to interrupt you for a second. This is the difference between somebody that says, I've done the research and it doesn't work. Where did you do your research? This is somebody saying they haven't done the research. They want to know for sure.
Yeah, well, I don't know what town it's in and all that. Santa, don't do that, baby. No. So they are going to cut off all funding to this library because there are five books in the library that represent homosexual people, gay people. Yet there are 13 copies of 50 Shades of Grey to be checked out, and that's okay. That's fine. No problem with that.
You know why that is?
Because there are 5 books that isn't about, but they're just represented in this book, and whatever, they're gonna cut off all the funding to this library and shut it down, and so now it's gonna be on the ballot to be voted.
It's because these old fuckers that were banging young chicks weren't just banging young chicks because they liked young chicks. They liked the fresh. It turned them on. And so they banged the young chicks. And now, the children that came out of it, they like to imagine when they're alone, their wife banging that young boy. 50 Shades of Grey. It's about cougar mentality.
I never read it.
I didn't either. I know it's about.
Read it.
And I'm bothered by the idea that they came up with the phrase cougar. At the one point, it struck me immediately. I said, you motherfuckers. There's a woman that wants to get some fucking guy with a hard dick, which is all the guys, old men have been looking for all these years, is a woman with a tight snatch. That way they can feel better about themselves because they're dwindling and old. But then a woman says, I want a guy with a big fucking dick. She hasn't had one in years because she's with this old fuck. And somebody that really wants to get at it, you know. And they put a name on her, like a cougar. And these women, some of them, they accepted the name cougar and enjoyed it. Oh, no. They've just, I don't know what you do when you emasculate a woman. It might be effeminate her or something, but they've taken every aspect of this person's free will to just say, I'm going to do what I fucking want here. I've been listening to you too long. And they call her a cougar.
I don't know, but I think it's pretty stupid that they're shutting the library down.
They're shutting down a library.
So ridiculous.
Nobody's even checking that stuff out. But that is the burning of a book. And who is the guy? Who is the guy that's going to be standing there kicking all the books into the fire? It's going to be a priest. It's going to be a firefighter. I say priest out of that book, that movie Priest, which was based on a comic that I never read. But it was that one guy, Bethany, Paul Bethany. He played a priest that was fantastic against vampires. And then you got the other one. What was the other one I said second? Fahrenheit 451. Fahrenheit 451. There it is. The firemen. They weren't firefighters. They went and they just found houses that the neighbors ratted out the houses next door and said, or the wife or somebody said, there are books in this house. So they'd take over the whole damn place and they'd burn the whole thing down with the books in it. I may have gotten that wrong, but they burned the books for sure. Might as well burn down their home because those books were that person's life. It was the only sense of self they had left when they're taken away. The freedom to hear another person speak and possibly validate them. They had ATMs. They had everything you wanted. They had fast cars. They had everything you wanted. But some people didn't want all of that. They wanted to share a mind with somebody that they might never meet. And they're burning them. And this is what it is. They're closing down a library in Michigan? Possibly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
they can.